You're listening to SumoCast, a new podcast mini-series from the team at Sumo Digital. I'm Laura, and I'm joined by my co-host Rebecca.
Hello.
So to give you a bit of background, all of us at Sumo Digital, like the majority of game studios around the world, are working from home at the moment. So we figured one way we could keep everyone connected is to open up our channels of communication a little bit more, share what it's been like adapting our processes as a games development studio from on-site to remote, as well as generally chatting about everything that's going on in the games industry and how we're keeping our spirits up. So bear with us on the mic quality. We've got vastly different setups at home. In our first episode, we're going to be talking to some of our recruitment team. So I'm joined by Ben Harris, Kyle Hardcastle and Hannah Burton about some of the immediate changes we've had to adapt to. So I guess to begin with, how has working from home been for you guys?
It's been very, very different. Obviously, having to keep a routine, even though we're sort of in these four walls, if you like. So I think routine's been the most important to keep me sane. But no, it's been good. I think without sounding very cheesy, we're just very lucky that we have like a very good team around us, and we all continue to share knowledge and keep up to date with things as well. So it's so far so good, I think.
Yeah, agreed. And I've just set up on my kitchen table so I've got my monitors, I've got my laptop, and it's literally just like I'd be at work normally. So, but like Ben said, it's just keeping a routine. So I've been just sort of going out for a walk in the morning before starting work, just to get my brain active, and then sitting at my desk like I would normally, and just doing the like normal lunchtime, normal start time, normal finish time, just to try and keep a bit of normality, really.
I think a huge part of kind of going to work is the change of scenery and actually removing yourself from like home mode and going into work mode. So I think that's been one of the biggest changes, right? Like kind of getting your head into work mode when you are still at home.
Yeah, definitely. I found it quite hard, I think. Just being in the same space that you do your home stuff as well, and getting into the zone, but then also getting out of the zone is quite tricky. So it's I think it's important just to set yourself some tasks and then some goals, and just know when to switch off.
I was just going to say, I literally, for the first few days, was like starting at 8 like I would normally, and normally I'd finish at 4, but then I was feeling really guilty for finishing at 4, because even though I've done a full working day and worked like I would normally, I feel like because I'm at home, I've not been at work. It's a bit weird.
Yeah,
it is weird.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
It's weird not having anyone to bounce off as well. Like being in the office, we can all kind of talk to each other and have mini breaks and stuff. And whereas being on home, you're on your own really. So it's not as fun.
Yeah.
What kind of things as a team are you doing to sort of, I don't know, stick together, I guess, keep constant communication, team morale up, that kind of thing?
So we've got a call every morning that we have as the recruitment team, where we just kind of catch up on what we did the day before and what we've got coming up the day ahead, but also just to chat to see how we all are, and just an update on life really.
We're sending a lot of gifts as well
Yes.
to keep us safe.
Lots of gifts. I think 15 minutes of yesterday morning's call was based around Minecraft, to be fair.
Amazing.
Which was my fault.
I guess that's one of the things that's coming out of this, right? Like a lot more people are playing multiplayer and like online games with each other, whereas you wouldn't normally. You'd kind of just go home and do your own thing. But actually now we're kind of craving that bit of socialization a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely. To be honest, I've been like sharing a load of memes about like when you realise quarantine is normal life, because I do just sit on my Xbox a lot of the time anyway. But yeah, no, definitely like craving that communication with people a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hit a bit of a record last night. There was myself and another 7 people playing together online, so definitely echo that.
Thanks for the invite.
Sorry.
And I guess for like the actual recruiting side of things, how has that been different? Because for a while you've been moving all interviews through applications like Teams or Zoom. Like, has that been a kind of different process for you, or how have you found it?
I mean, in terms of the interviews, our first and second interviews are usually done over Teams anyway, so that's not been much different. I think the real change has been final interviews have been done over video now, rather than the person coming to visit the studio, meet the team, and see the surrounding area. So that's definitely been a bit of a change, but it's working okay, I think, so far, which is good.
Yeah.
I think it extends outside of the recruitment team as well. I think it's studios sort of opening up their mindset to allow final stage interviews to take place over Teams rather than seeing someone actually physically in person. So I think it's been more of a change for studios rather than us as a team, really.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I think, or I personally anticipated that we'd see a big drop in like applications, in interviews, and stuff like that in recruitment, and I feel like it's been the opposite. Although there's a lot, although reaching out to people on LinkedIn and via other methods, the passive market, so the market that aren't actually actively looking, but they might be interested if you catch them with the right message, are less likely to respond and be interested in opportunities. But the active market are still looking for jobs regardless of what's going on. So, I think it's sort of business as usual, really.
That's really good. Why do you think there's been an increase in applications over the past week? Do you think it's just a case of people being at home and they're bored, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing is as well, people in their other jobs, they're still working from home. They're still doing the same job they were doing before. So if they were looking for another job, when things were a bit more normal, I don't think that's changed. And because they're at home, they've perhaps got a bit more time to be able to be actively looking and applying for other roles.
And from sort of actively speaking to people over LinkedIn and other different channels, though, obviously it warrants it, but the current coronavirus is a scare for people for looking for new roles. I think if we're sourcing people directly, I think for me anyway, I'd say 80% of those people are outlining something to do with coronavirus at the moment and their hesitation to look elsewhere.
Yeah, agreed, to be honest. I'm getting a lot of responses that are saying a similar sort of thing, that I sent out a message the other day, and they were like, you know what, I'd 100% be interested in this opportunity if it weren't for the current climate, but let's maybe talk in 3 months' time when we know more about what's going on. And it's just trying to convince them that we're still, although we're working from remotely, we're still trying to continue as normal, and we are putting things in place so that we can get people started still while we're in this remote period.
Yeah, trying to convince people that the job will still be here in 3 months' time.
Yeah,
I guess it's a time of massive uncertainty.
It is.
So say for example, I've applied for a position and I have a video interview coming up with one of you guys potentially. What can I do to prepare myself? Like, do you have any advice for anyone that is embarking on an interview at home?
I think for me the most important thing, regardless of if it's at home or in person, is do your research on the company.
Yeah.
I've had so many times where people have turned up to interviews and they don't know anything about the company. And I think it's just that's the foundations of showing interest in that particular job. Rather than just applying for a job, you're actually wanting to invest in the company as well. I think that's number one for me anyway.
Yeah, I was going to say, make sure that you're in an area where you can speak freely and you're free from interruptions. And also test the equipment before. So test your webcam, test your audio, make sure that that's all running, and that's not going to cause any problems as well.
Yeah, I think the good thing as well about our industry in terms of interviews is you can be really relaxed in what you wear. So you don't need to sit on a video interview with your boxers on, but like a jacket and a tie and a shirt on your top. You can just wear like a t-shirt or whatever, just normal clothes.
And I feel as well at the moment, like so many people are at home with kids and pets and things. Do you have any advice for people, if they do feel like they might be interrupted midway through an interview? Or does that really matter at the moment in the current climate?
I don't think it matters that much. I think it's got to be expected.
Yeah.
So, I mean, my mum's an IT trainer for a law firm, and she's sitting opposite me, like in the kitchen. We've both got we're like got the same setup, like mirroring each other. And she was recording a training session the other day. I didn't realise, and I sneezed on her recording.
Oh, no.
But like, it's just got to be expected, and like it's totally fine. But yeah, I think interviewees don't need to worry about stuff like that.
No, I don't think so. It's we all understand what's going on, and it's some of those things that just can't be helped. So nothing to worry about there.
And in some ways, it kind of adds a little bit of, it gives a bit more of an idea of who you are, and it's a bit more real and relatable, and it's just completely different to kind of going to a location, going to a studio. It's almost a little bit more of yourself coming through.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. You could turn it into a positive, can't you? You know, it's sort of a way of getting your personality across.
Also, whilst we're on that subject as well, I think with video interviews, I know the teams are looking at other ways to, because usually, for example, up in Newcastle for the interviews that go on there for final stage, there's like a lunch break where the guys can just all you know, they can talk, they can speak about, you know, common interest, that kind of stuff. Whereas now they're looking at doing like a board game or a game over Teams that they can play within that lunch hour instead, so they can get to know each other that way, rather than just, you know, just the interviews one after another on video Teams.
Yeah, that's really good. We were saying yesterday that we think as a team, definitely our social interaction has gone up massively since all of this. Like, I don't think we really did anything outside of work in the marketing team before. But now they're like having craft nights and, you know, virtual pub quizzes.
Yeah, it's great. It's really nice. I feel like you can be yourself a lot more at home.
Yeah.
And you have all your interests and all your hobbies around you. So, you know, we could be on a video call and I'll just say, oh, hang on, I'm just going to run and go and get this thing. And it can be some random craft project I've been doing. And it's really nice. Like, at work, you don't really have that. So there are definite benefits from working remotely that I think will kind of stay in place once all of this is kind of returned to normality a little bit.
Definitely. I think, like, with remote working as well, like this for however long it lasts is going to open our eyes as a business, and not just at Sumo but other businesses about remote working. I know we've had remote workers and we have contractors that work remote sometimes, so it's going to, although there's obviously huge negatives, there's going to be some great positives coming out of it as well.
Yeah, for sure. So how's it been for, like, people who they've got the job, they're waiting to start, and then, you know, all of this has happened and we've all moved to working remotely. What's the process been like for getting them onboarded? Has it been any different, or has it just meant that you've had a lot more touch points throughout the onboarding process?
We're obviously getting everyone started remote from day one, whereas normally they'd be coming into the studio. Our IT team have been absolutely incredible with that side of things. We've just had a senior exec producer join us. I think he started last Monday, relocated from, I want to say, Sweden, and he got his kit delivered to his doorstep. Set up straight away, and then he could start on the Monday. So it's been a different process, but it's working so far.
Yeah,
I think it's I think it's just that candidate experience as well. Just making sure that us as recruiters, and even sometimes the actual manager that's hiring the person, is just keeping in contact with them.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of emails from new starters where they've been a bit nervous around what's going to happen. But I think, like Kyle mentioned there, we've just, in terms of a team, not just recruitment, but surrounding like IT and things, we have that such a strong network of support that we can give that experience to the candidates before they even join.
And as well, like with everyone kind of working away from the studios now, we've all been sharing our experiences a bit more on social media and have been really trying to open up those channels of communication a bit more. So that's really great to see. And I feel like for a new starter, going on social media and seeing what we're posting, they kind of get a bit more of an insight into the people they're working with at the moment, which is kind of fun.
Definitely. There's been lots of dogs.
There's been lots of hot dogs.
Lots of dogs. Lots of furry friends, which has been nice to see.
So it's really awesome that you guys are getting on okay at home at the moment. So obviously this is something that's kind of affecting everyone around the world, and as an industry, it is quite niche, and there are people that are talented all across the world. How are you supporting those people that maybe do want to relocate, that want to move around for work in the current climate? Is there any particular support that we're offering at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, sort of business as usual, really. Whether it's a case of we do help support visas and relocation. Obviously, each situation is different, but we are sort of, if we do hire someone through Teams who's outside of the UK, we're sort of going through that transition period of either getting kit out to them to enable them to do their jobs, or if they have the right equipment, allowing them to do their role from home, wherever that is in the world. And then obviously when this all dies down, then we can obviously transition them over to the UK. But I don't know how everyone else has been through that process on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a couple of people that had already accepted before this whole pandemic really started. One's in Los Angeles and one is in Denmark, and we're looking to get them started at the start of next month. And what we're doing for those people that are overseas, like Ben says, is get them started working remotely. But because we don't have a legal entity in those countries, we're getting them started as contractors for that initial period. It's sort of the main option we can offer to people so that they can start as soon as possible with us. So we're just trying to adapt to it as best as possible. But then, yeah, we've just sort of said when the restrictions are lifted and they then feel comfortable, we'll then support them in their relocation to the UK.
I guess comfort is like, it's one of the most important things at this time when there are a number of huge unknowns, and this is a really actually testing time for a lot of people. Getting a new job and, you know, kind of onboarding with a new team and feeling comfortable in what you're doing is such a huge challenge to go through on top of it. So it's awesome to hear that actually there is a lot of support in place for people, and that we're kind of learning from the experience as well. I think that's the most important thing to take away.
Yeah, it's quite an awful time at the moment. I feel like the media's bigging up that everybody's losing their jobs and stuff. So as cheesy as it might sound, it's quite heartfelt where we're continuing to recruit people, but not just recruit, but support as well. So it's nice to see from our perspective. Well, from my perspective, should I say?
Yeah, definitely.
We are coming up to the end of the episode, and I'd really like to know what you guys have been playing while in isolation.
So I started playing Everybody's Gone to the Rapture the other day.
Oh,
so
really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah,
a Chinese room classic.
It is, yes. I've always listened to the soundtrack, into the music, and I thought, well, I need to play it now, and that's amazing. That's really good. It completely takes you. I mean, I started playing it and for ages, and then completely forgot that we were actually in this situation in the world at the moment as well. I completely zoned out, which was nice.
Yeah, that's good.
I definitely recommend.
It's such a beautiful narrative
is.
game, right? You really get absorbed into the story.
It's really good.
Yeah. Kyle, I've seen that you've been playing Minecraft.
Yeah,
Of course.
I went in one direction and then went the total opposite direction. So I was playing Warzone, which is the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare Battle Royale, and I pumped loads of hours into that. And then I just went, no, I'm going to play Minecraft instead.
It's going to make a beautiful house in the countryside.
And I started playing Minecraft a couple of years ago, and then I just sort of stopped. And I got my friend into it at one point, and then I've reintroduced him back into it, and now he hates me because he's just not stopped playing it all day every day, and then I'm jumping in after work. We've created a realm so we can just sort of both play the same world whenever we want to.
Oh, that's nice. It's like being outside.
Yeah.
Remember the days.
Yeah.
I can run around outside but kill spiders and zombies and skeletons.
What about you, Ben? Have you been playing anything?
A lot of multiplayer stuff online with friends. So, like Kyle said there, Warzone. Still haven't won yet. I'm very bad at that game, if I'm honest.
We'll get you a win.
I hope so, mate. One day, fingers crossed. A lot of FIFA as well, playing pro clubs. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but again, lots of players online with friends.
Yeah, that's nice.
And I broke out the Mega Drive a couple of days ago, so I've just been playing old school Mega Drive, which has been it's been delightful.
That's
such
awesome.
a retro thing.
And Rebecca, you have been playing The Witcher.
It's such a huge part of my life right now that I pretty much only speak to my other half in Witcher quotes. There's been a lot of winds howling recently.
Love it.
I'm 110 hours in, which for me is absolutely unheard of with a game. So yeah, that's
amazing.
It has definitely taken over my life though. I've started having dreams about the monsters. Any piece of free time I have, I'm on it. So
amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Love it.
Am I a really bad person because I couldn't get into The Witcher?
Yes.
Oh my God, Kyle, I no longer trust you as a person.
I know, I've tried playing it twice and I just can't get into it.
You know what? I'm the same. I just couldn't get into it. Maybe I didn't give it enough time, but
Yeah.
Geralt is the king of sass, and
He is.
I just love him
He's
for it.
so sassy.
Maybe I have to give it a third go. Third time's
Yeah,
a charm.
third time lucky. Yeah.
I've also ordered Animal Crossing. I was telling the team earlier as well. So
that's it.
That's going to
Well,
be
you're
it.
sorted. You're sorted for the next
I know,
3
yeah.
months.
Can't wait.
Yeah, absolutely fine. I've been obsessing over my farm on Stardew Valley. I've got the ultimate dream farm going on right now. I've got all the crops, all the orchards. Just it's amazing. So
You married a doctor.
Yeah, married a doctor. So
Nice.
I think my Stardew life is actually better than my real life. So I don't know what that says about me, but yeah, it's wild.
Has anyone been playing any like games with family or anything like online that you wouldn't usually, or anything that's brought your family together through games?
I have been participating in a family WhatsApp group chat where we've been doing a friends quiz.
Oh yeah.
Very
Of course.
unfairly curated by my older sister who knows a lot about Friends, but that's been kind of nice. Like normally we would just, be like, hey, how's your day or whatever, but we're actually actively chatting more and participating in activities that we, I guess, wouldn't normally do. So that's good. That's a positive.
That's nice and wholesome, whereas my mother wants to somehow organise a virtual game of Prosecco Pong.
Wow.
So I'm not quite sure how we're going to do that.
That's awesome. Thanks everyone for listening. We're going to wrap this one up now. So thank you, Hannah, Kyle, and Ben for your time.
Thank you.
No worries.
It's been really insightful hearing how you guys are kind of adapting to this unusual situation we're in. So we are still recruiting. If you're interested in checking out some of our open roles, go to sumo-digital.com/careers. And also, while you're at it, check out the hashtag Sumo from home. Lots of our folks from around the company, all our different studios, have been sharing some awesome pictures of life as it is at home at the moment. So yeah, check that out. Thanks very much and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.